Okay, it's sunny, but the sky has this weird mist kind of look to it today. It's actually supposed to rain tomorrow, so I wonder if that's just the sign of it. Thank you guys for your support for yesterday's videos too. I was actually thinking as I was editing it, I actually didn't really think about it while I was debating with that guy that was the anti-drone. Like I was mentioning, for example, like what about the turtles and so forth, and one of his comment was, yeah, those turtles aren't native here anyway, so he can't basically say he cares about, like, say, like animals as a whole, because why would you care about, like, say, this animal but not that animal in that sense, if you're so afraid of, you know, people doing bad things in a area where there are animals in the open field. So like there's more of like a selective, I guess, thinking. Like it's more about what he wants as opposed to everything else, like in general. That's kind of interesting to think about. I just read this today. It says Vancouver, Seattle, downtown Seaplane service finally here. Seaplane service connecting downtown Vancouver and Seattle is here on Wednesday. Vancouver's Harbour Air and U.S. partner Kenmore Air launched the inaugural flight connecting the two cities. It says, considering our cities are geographically quite close, the floatplane is very nimble connection to have for tourism and community connections. But I think the game changer here is for the economy and innovation in particular. I know they were actually talking about something like a train connecting it, so I guess this is kind of interesting. Although it says about the price, the cost of the flights vary, but as an example, one-way ticket purchased April 27th from Vancouver to Seattle for a May 5th flight would cost $370.50. That's kind of a steep price, isn't it? That's almost the same price as getting a regular airline ticket to go from, at times, like Vancouver to someplace like, say, LA. So I don't know if that price is affordable enough for people to use it on, say, a regular basis as opposed to treating it just like as a trip. Is there actually good places to fly a drone like in the Seattle area? I would imagine it's way busier like compared to here in the Canadian cities. I've only been there a couple of times, walked around the harbor area and stuff, but I would imagine you can't really fly a drone in those areas too, like here where they would land you. Holy cow, it's windy as heck and it's killing the battery pretty fast because it's overworking itself. This.
Go infrared, yeah.
Yes. That looks like your dog is looking for food. Ah, where's it going? Is he? Oh, jeez. Maybe he's not used to this one. How come it's a sign to chase that one all of a sudden? Does that one have a stabilized camera and stuff too? Nice. Okay. Wait, does it look shaky?
But no, it, like the gimbal compensates for it, but it's the flying that takes it.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, his head is getting really hot from doing that. You can see like how long the battery lasts on this thing. Not that bad. Are you afraid at all he's gonna jump and grab it? Oh, guys, having too much fun talking to people about the drones, the tech, places to go, and well, the light's almost all gone already. Got my flight in though, let the guy practice or try out the Mavic compared to the one he was using. I think it was a unique one. I guess the other thing I read that was kind of interesting, it says horse riders and farmers threatening to shoot down drones spooking animals. Horse riders and farmers fed up with unmanned aerial drones traumatizing animals wants to start shooting them out of the sky. After a Danevirk, is that how you say it? A Danevirk horse rider posted on social media about being harassed by a drone operated by an unseen person, a host of people suggested drones should and could be shot if they flew over a farm and were worrying animals. Again, with that stuff about the shooting the drones, why is that the first thing that comes into people's minds? Can I shoot this, for example? It says, when approached by Hawke's Bay today to clarify whether a drone could be legally shot at a farm, the police said a number of agencies, including CAA and the Privacy Commissioner, had a role to play in relation to the use of drones. If a remotely piloted aircraft operation causes a safety risk to person's property or aircraft, police will respond and take all details for forwarding to the CAA. Police assess every situation on its merits. Any person using a firearm must do so lawfully, and there are a range of offenses that can apply based on the facts of each situation. I was actually curious, just based on this, how close people are flying, like down there to quote spook them, because obviously if they're going that low into the property, then they shouldn't be doing that, obviously. Like, you should, whatever, report them, contact the authorities. It also makes me wonder, in terms of things like the animals and stuff like that, is it just a case in many ways where they just need to get used to it? Because today, for example, like that dog, because the guy that has a dog, he actually owns a drone, so he's so used to it, so it likes to play with it. Or no, will people always assume like an animal's always going to be terrified and stuff like that? Kind of reminds me of like kind of that debate with that guy I had the other day, where like the ducks, for example, they're so used to people here, whereas in another country they might not be, just because of the environment. Of course, you shouldn't be flying into the person's property and stuff like that close. In my opinion, people like that should be reported, or they should be fined. They're actually going that low, like out of nowhere. Alright, see you guys later.